Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. Battle Spirit Saga is getting me more and more excited with every single day because they have been dropping huge numbers of card reveals over the last few weeks. They started with the starter decks, which I have been making videos on reviewing all of those. If you haven't seen those, please do check them out. They'll be linked up there somewhere. As the time of this recording, there's a few more still to come, so please do subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing those reviews. 80% of you who watch are not subscribed, so I'd appreciate it if you hit that sub button because I'm this close to 2k. But today we're here to talk about this first batch of the set 1 card reveals, and this is primarily consisting of red cards, but there is some of every colour here, and a X-Rare I think for all the colours, and man, they are really, really exciting. Let's go ahead and dive right into these cards. We start off with something fairly similar. This is just a rare. This is simple. This is just a rare. This is Pterosaur. This is a 4 with 2 cost reductions. So it's a 3/2 or a 5/5. Level 1 and 2, when it attacks, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a Pterosaur spirit card, add it to your hand. If not, put it on top of the deck. So we're seeing here this new deck type, this Pterosaur deck, which this is clearly going to be a very important part of if that level of advantage gaining is something you care about, which you should. And then at level 2, while the spirit attacks, this gains 1k for every Pterosaur spirit you control. This can clearly get out of hand very, very quickly because it starts off as a 5. It'll be a 6 when it attacks because it counts itself. And if you have even 2 more, suddenly it's an 8. And that is incredibly good. A 5/8, very, very valuable. Obviously, very vulnerable to disruption and stuff, but I think this is a really, really powerful card. For the Pterosaur deck, seems like a very strong inclusion. Then we've got Oviraptidon. This is another Pterosaur. This is just a vanilla, but this is probably, you can play it for free, and this is likely just to fill out your number of Pterosaurs. For now, anyway, we'll see how many we end up with in the set. Then we've got Pterosaur. This is a 5 with 4 cost reductions, so potentially a 2/5, but obviously you've got to have quite a wide board for that. Though, I don't know, seems pretty possible, and then obviously, you know, a 2/5 is crazy value. Then we've got Burning Force here, a magic card, 5 with 2 cost reductions. Main, select one of your opponent's nexus and destroy it. If you have, you haven't seen them all yet, but in my videos discussing the starters, I basically make a point to note just how good every single nexus seems to be. So this is a good effect. And then the main and the flash effect is to select 2 of your opponent's spirits with 3,000 or fewer BP and destroy them. This at flash timing could be nuts. And I think that's the reason it's relatively expensive, because main destroy an Nexus for 3 is not fantastic. But flash pop 2 things for 3 very much is. So I think this is definitely going to be, you know, it's going to be one of those ones where we need to see quite how much of the meta ends up actually being in this range. Though it is worth saying, if you potentially, if mixing colours ends up being a thing, yellow does have cheap ways to reduce BPs, so that could combo quite nicely. But regardless, even if it's just mono red, you know, 3k or less is going to be dealing with any chump units that people are putting out. Obviously, yellow is that immediate instant target, but purple with their cursed units and red with just their little smaller chaps look very, very easy to target. White probably is the only one that isn't super great against. Jurassic King Gigano Rex. This is the boss monster for the Pterosaur deck, and I think this is leaning into what they were saying with, I think it was 8 to 12 decks. It was either 8 or 12 decks were going to be viable in the set 1 format, and I assume that it's going to be it's either 1 or 2 from the starter and then filling out the rest from the main set. We can see here Pterosaur being one of these main set ones. This is an X-Rare. For when summoning the spirit from your hand, you may count each symbol on your Pterosaur or Emperor Beast spirits on the field as 2 symbols when calculating cost reduction. So you only need 3 Pterosaurs on the board to play this guy for 2. So it would be a 3/5, which is amazing. The stats on this card are all kinds of incredible. At level 1, 2, and 3, if you only have Pterosaur or Emperor Beast spirits on this field, treat the spirit as level 3. So, I mean, you can see just how nuts this card is, right? If you just have 3 Pterosaurs on the board, nothing else, this is a 3/10, because you do need to put 1 on it for it to be level 1. It's a 3/10, and it gets all its effects, which is when the spirit attacks, it has confront, and when the spirit attacks, all your spirits gain 3k BP during this turn. This is a monstrous card, incredibly powerful, terrifying card. And yeah, this makes me want to build a Pterosaur deck. This card alone, this is so crazy. I definitely want to try this deck out, but it's just wild. Then we've got Raging Dyrano Rex. I love the names. 7 with 4 cost reductions. This is another Pterosaur. Level 1, 2, and 3, while the spirit attacks, it has Confront. So we're seeing that this is very much a theme on the big red cards. And when the spirit attacks, select one of your opponent's spirits with 4,000 or fewer BP and destroy it. 4k is actually relatively big, so this may be worth it. Obviously, you're going to have to invest quite a lot into it. It would essentially end up being like an 8 to 9, which is not bad with these effects. But, it is nice. It's giving you that really strong removal because you're nuking something and then you're forcing them to block. And at level 3, it's 9k. It's probably clearing whatever they block it with. So I think this is another nice addition, but very difficult to compare to the X-Rare we just saw. Then we have got Divine Halberd Dragon Arc. This is a Star Dragon, so now we're going to be seeing support for Star Dragons, which is what the starter deck is built around. This is a 3 with 2 cost reductions. At level 1, 2, and 3, neither player's life can be reduced by an attack from a spirit that has 2,000 or fewer BP. You want an out to yellow, there's your out to yellow. Good lord, that is good. Obviously, instant out to all kinds of Rush decks. There's a mulligan in this game, so if Rush ever starts taking over the meta, you can hard mulligan for this card and you're fine. At level 2 and level 3, when this spirit attacks, by the way, if you hard mulligan for this, the odds work out to something like 65% of the time you're going to see it, which is not fantastic, but I mean, that's not bad. And then level 2 and level 3, when the spirit attacks, select one of your opponent's spirits with 2,000 or fewer BP and destroy it. So again, really damaging any kind of little weenie rush strategy. This is just a nice option to have. Not broken, it's just one of those cards that outs a particular type of deck. Then we have got the vanilla here in Ankylosaur Gaston, bloody hell. So this is potentially a 1-3 or a 3-6. Obviously very efficient in terms of stats, but you need the units to back it up. It is a Pterosaur though. And then we've got Volcanic Break here. This is a 5 with 2 cost reductions, main and flash. Select one of your opponent's spirits with 3,000 or fewer BP and destroy it. If you spend a Soul Core as part of this card's cost, select a spirit with 6,000 or fewer BP instead. So if you Soul Core this and you get it for 3, that is very good. I think 3 at flash speed to just nuke a 6k or lower, very, very, very powerful. I think this is a really, really staple piece of removal, I feel like, just being able to do it at main or flash speed. I'll be kind of surprised if this doesn't see any play. It seems very versatile, even if you don't spend the Soul Core for it, which, may telegraph to your opponent. If they just see you with your Soul Core up, they're probably going to be like, right, well, he's about to nuke something. But even if they don't, 3k or fewer, it's not bad. It's still killing something. I think this is a really nice card. Phobos Dragon, another vanilla here. This is a Star Dragon vanilla. Sacred Thundering Peaks. If the last few Nexuses or anything go by, this is probably going to be quite good. This is a 4 with 2 cost reductions at level 1 and level 2 during your attack step. When one of your spirits is destroyed via comparing BP with one of your opponent's spirits, select a spirit that costs less than the destroyed spirit from your trash and return to your hand. So if you lose something, you're getting something back more than likely. This is a really nice little bit of advantage regaining, right? Like, fundamentally, you are confronting a lot in red, so if your opponent is able to just outpower you and you lose your dude, it's fine, just get something else back. And then during your attack step at level 2, when one of your spirits with confront attacks first during your turn, it is refreshed. Now that is very powerful. Obviously, this ends up being a 5-cost Nexus at that point, but I mean, frankly, who cares? That is such remarkable value if you're restanding, for example, just to give a random example, no particular reason, Gigano Rex, buff all your spirits by 3k again. This is suddenly a 16k attacking that second time. Man, that's kind of crazy. Yeah. Whoa. Very much spoilers there. Yeah, I think this is a very powerful Nexus that will definitely see play in all kinds of red decks. Right, but here is probably the best card in the game. Starblessed Draw, 4 with 2 cost reductions. Burst when your opponent resolves the spirits when summoned effect. Spoilers for the white starter deck review. There's a card with the same restriction that I posit is the best card in all the starter decks, and I would say one of the best cards in the game, because this one's wet, but this one is far better. Draw 2. You can then pay this card's cost to activate its main effect. So in red, it'll just be 2 more if you've got a couple constructions on the board. Draw 2 more. Draw 4. Pot of Greed can go fucking eat a dick, mate. What? Draw 4 for 2? And even if you don't bother, it's still a draw 2. It's still a +1 with a very easy to achieve effect. Splashable in literally every deck. I don't know any deck that's going to turn down a burst to draw 2. Yeah, I'm glad this is an uncommon, because I'm pretty sure literally every deck is going to play this at 4. I just can't imagine, unless you really, really need to control which types of bursts you're playing, when you're playing them, all sort of stuff. I just feel like this is such an auto-include in basically everything. And in red, 100% you're playing 4 of this no matter what. This is crazy. Big Bang Energy. This is a 4 with 2 cost reductions. Main, during this turn, all Star Dragon Spirit cards in your hand have a cost equal to your life total. So that is at most 5. Later on in the game, you know, play this for 2. Maybe that's 1 life, 2 life. Cost reduction activates. They're free. They're free. Holy shit. And then at flash speed, you can also select Spirit to gain 2k if you just end up not needing to use that effect. My god, this is a powerful card. Obviously, we're seeing a huge amount of red support at the moment. Almost every card we've discussed, we will discuss in this video is red. So obviously, we're reading these all and we're going, damn, red looks crazy. Of course, it looks crazy. Very disproportionate. We're seeing main set support and not so much for the others. But this is nuts. I am really excited to play this game. Divine, Mars, Dragon, Ares, Dragoon. This is a Star Dragon, 6 cost rare, but with 4 cost reductions. At level 1, 2, and 3, Flash, Awaken. So, just as a clarification, for those of you who saw my red review, I didn't really understand how this ability worked. I thought you could play it from your hands. No. Flash is just, at Flash timing, you can use the Awaken ability. So, sorry for my mix-up on that one. I wasn't 100% sure. But now that we know that, we can evaluate this card. And this is a really good effect, I think. Because basically the idea here is you can be really, really efficient with how big you're making your attacks. If you've got multiple Awaken units on the board, then you can stack up something that's not Awaken, swing with it, have it level 3 maybe, and then you can Awaken, you swing with one of your Awaken units, you can flash it, level that card up, and then you do that effect multiple times with your Awaken. If your opponent's going to destroy one of your things, you can flash Awaken and just grab it. This is not a once per turn thing, so in response to stuff your opponents do, you can just Awaken again. I think it's a really powerful and versatile effect, and it introduces a level of technical gameplay I wasn't necessarily expecting in red, and it makes me really want to play red, and putting red all the way up there is basically all yellow down here, everything else up here is how I feel. And at level 3, when the spirit attacks, when the battle ends once per turn, you may refresh all of your spirits with Awaken. Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Yes, this is a really good card. Man, I want to play this game. White Hole Dragon, this is a 4 cost Star Dragon with 1 cost reduction. This also is Awaken at all levels. When destroyed, select one of your opponent's spirits with BP equal to or fewer than this one and destroy it. So the advantage here is maybe you really need some mana for next turn. And I'm thinking of the situation here, right? Because obviously if your cores are on your units, they're not going into your reserve to refresh next turn. You are reducing the number of cores you have to work with on your following turn. What you could do is you could Awaken this, steal almost everything. If you actually, it's coming to the end of your opponent's turn, you're like, okay, now I'm being inefficient by keeping this thing here. I want the versatility. I want to be able to play big things. I'm just going to steal everything, put it on here. Level this card up to level 3 when it's got the 4 cores on it, when your opponent's not expecting it. And either that's going to counter pop whatever they've got, or maybe they then invest the resources to keep it alive, or maybe it's not big enough. You lose this. You're still popping a 6k. This is really, really good. I think this is a really, really good effect. I don't know if this actually end up being worth it because there's so many crazy powerful cards, but I think these Awaken cards seem very strong to me. Nebula Dragon. This is a 6 with 3 cost reductions. At level 2, while the spirit attacks, count the spirit symbol as 2 red symbols that have a soul, if it has a soul core on it. I do see the value in an effect like this, because this is essentially a 4/5, and with the soul core on it, it counts as 2. Very efficient. I don't know if that's really going to be worth it. It might be, though. I think this could be potentially very, very good. Gonna have to see. But obviously then you are losing your soul core, and red, there's a card we're going to come on to in a little bit. Where Stars Are Born. There's a 3 cost Nexus with 2 cost reductions, so you can just slam it down for 1. When placed, reveal 1 card from the top of your deck for each Star Dragon spirit you control, so a shit ton. Add 1 red spirit card from the reveal cards to your hand, and then return any remaining cards to the bottom of your deck. This is a staple 4 of immediately in Star Dragons. I'm sorry, that just is. And then level 2, during your attack step, when one of your spirits that costs 4 or more attacks, select one of your opponent's spirits with 1000 or fewer BP and destroy it. So again, you can have multiple of these, trigger this effect multiple times. 1000 or fewer BP is not much, so unless you have these abilities like reduced BP, it's not going to be great there. You don't really care about that necessarily. But what you do care about is this. Once you have 2 things on the board, this is only costing 1. 1 to top check bear and just add cards. Any red spirit is crazy, so you can just spam 4 copies of this, and then it's sitting there, and you've got your cost reduction backline ready for anything. This is so good. Yeah, phenomenal card. We come on to our first purple card, and it's a vanilla, Bone Scout. Nothing really much to say here, it is a vanilla. Mecha Beast Fortress Namengard. This is a machine beast, 8 with 4 cost reductions. When destroyed by the opponent, draw 3, place 3 cores from the void into your reserve. So this is a 5/7 with 4, if you've got 4 things on the board, where if your opponent kills it, which they very well might, you can block with it, you ramp 3 and draw 3. Holy shit. At level 2, perform a refresh step after your attack step, once per turn. Oh my god. So you stack this up just even a little bit. It's a 10k. You can swing with your whole board and then just get it all back. My god, this is crazy. I mean, obviously, it is very expensive. The extent to which I think in white you're really going to be able to abuse this, I think it's somewhat limited, but goddamn, that's in theory pretty crazy. Pentan, a yellow card here. This is a level 2 with a 2 cost with 1 reduction at level 2 and level 3. Reduce the cost of the first magic card you use each turn by 1. This could be really good. We're really going to need to see the yellow magic support in this set though, because at the moment, not amazing. There's not like a huge amount. Though with the Chain Angel and the card that gets reduced down to 1, then that suddenly becomes free and you get it back every single time you use it. So you get this free recyclable loop of you swing, you cast the card, it's free, you minus 2k BP, something can't block, and then you bounce it back to your hand. That's definitely a nice little resource loop. So this is a cool little combo with that. Fortress Metropolis Nauman City. This is a 4 cost with 2 reductions during level 1 and level 2 during your main step. When you summon a Machine Beast Spirit card that costs 6 or more, count the symbols on the Nexus at 3 white symbols. So, I mean, we see the synergy here immediately, right? This card alone is suddenly counting as 3 cost reductions for this, making getting it out incredibly easy. At level 2, during the opponent's turn, all your spirits gain 1k BP. This is just a good effect. Like, that's just good. And you can have multiple of them, and it's stacking up, and it's getting really annoying to get over your stuff. That's just good. So this Machine Beast archetype now is looking developed and looking scary as hell. Then we come on to some X-Rares. Supernova Dragon Seagworm Nova. This is the Star Dragon X-Rare Valiant Hero, 8 cost with 3 reductions. This is absolutely going to be running the game. It's very powerful. Ascend for 6 or more. As an additional summoning cost, you must place all cores from one of your spirits that cost 6 or more into your reserve. That's an expensive cost. So already you're having to pay 5 for this, 6 because you have to put a core onto it, and then you've got to sack a 6 or lower, a 6 or less, a 6 or greater, sorry, with at least 1 core on it, because I mean once it loses all the cores, it's going to get deleted, so you're losing that. It does have flash to awaken, so you know there is that. You can start training all that. You can restand it, which is scary. At all levels, when summoned, when the spirit performs Ascend, using a spirit with Seagworm in its card name, so that now you're going to be really looking at those Seagworms and wanting to include them, you may place a soul core into the void. This can be from anywhere. If you do, place cores from the void into your life until you have 5 life. So this is like ramp, but obviously it's healing you. So if you're at 1, 2 life, this is so busted. You can heal from anywhere, so you can pay off that soul core, do whatever you want with it, and then when you play this, then you can do it. Super, super powerful. We're not done. When the spirit attacks, select any number of your opponent's spirits with a combined total of 10,000 or fewer BP and destroy them. Oh my god, we know we can restand this card. This card is healing you up. You can use this card to ascend itself if you want to just keep looping it or some shit. I don't fucking know. Oh my god, this card is very crazy. Heavily costed. Heavily costed. But this is terrifying. This is a card that's going to be everywhere in red. So good. This is one of the most popular cards in Japan. If you played Zenzard, you remember this card being pretty terrifying. Yeah, this is damn good. Grand Underworld Trio Queen Majuk. You want to talk about damn good, though. I think this may be better. 8 with 4 reductions. At all levels, when one of your spirits with Curse, we know there's plenty of those, or Blood Curse, what's Blood Curse? We'll come on to it, reduces your opponent's life, place the lost life cores into the void instead of their reserve. So you're denying them that ramp. Okay, that's scary, but you're not going to get this out, you know, very early, so it's not going to be crazy, right? Well, level 2 and level 3, this card has Blood Curse. When this spirit would be destroyed by your opponent, you may place 1 core from your opponent's life and 1 core from this spirit into the owner's trashes to keep the spirit on the field refreshed. So you are absolutely going to be going all in on stacking this spirit up. The purple mirror, going to be a bit of a nightmare, but anything else, they don't really have ways of core removal. And unless they've just got ways to basically get around this, that's really going to suck. They're just going to be losing life. And, you know, it says into the trash. But obviously, I think with Blood Curse is not going to synergize with this effect. I'm pretty sure because you're placing, you're not reducing your opponent's life. So I don't think it goes into their trash. But such a busted effect, like literally, who cares? And obviously, this keeps the card around. Incredibly good. And then at level 3, during your attack step, all your spirits with Curse gain Blood Curse. And that's really the scary one, because if you now have your board spammed with little dudes with Curse, that was already scary, right? We already appreciated just how scary that was. But now, you give them more Blood Curse, and suddenly if your opponent blocks them, forget losing their unit. They're going to die. They're just going to lose the game. This is so scary. Yeah, I'm super excited to build a deck around this card. Yeah, just looks very, very good. You know, I think, you know, relatively balanced, I would say, compared to what I honestly might expect. To be honest, the best X-Rare so far might actually be Gigano Rex, but I guess we'll see. The final card that we have had revealed is Phantom Beast King Lin. It feels like the horse from Toriko, you know? Anyway, this is a rare, not an X-Rare, but 9 costs with 6 cost reductions. When summoned, select one of your opponent's spirits for each fabled beast spirit you control. They are treated as level 1 during this turn. Interesting. When the spirit attacks, if you control 3 or more spirits that cost 2, the spirit cannot be blocked by spirits with any effects listed. So that is kind of nuts. And if this whole fabled beast deck ends up taking over the meta, I guess white vanilla beatdown may end up being a thing. But yeah, it seems unlikely, but this does seem like a really, really cool effect. And overall, I have to say, I am so excited for set 1 of Battle Spirits. I've already seen stores starting to put listings up and for their events and stuff. I've got cases pre-ordered. This game is going to be nuts. I'm so excited for it. I'm going to get very, very sweaty, and I will be taking some of that prize pool, I hope. Yeah, super, super excited. If you guys are too, please let me know in the comment section down below. Like this video if you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Battle Spirits Saga content. I also make videos on One Piece, Get Rid of Morgana, so if you're interested in those, you should subscribe as well. That's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.